The Washington Nationals season was in dire straits. Howie Kendrick was out for the year with a ruptured Achilles. Daniel Murphy had missed extensive time. Adam Eaton re-injured his leg and was out. Anthony Rendon missed 3 weeks with a toe injury. Ryan Zimmerman lost 2 months with an oblique strain. And Brian Goodwin missed 6 weeks with a wrist injury. The team wasn't as much getting hit by the injury bug that year, so much as it was being consumed by it outright. With few other options, they turned to Juan Soto, a fresh-faced 19-year-old kid from the Dominican Republic, who went on to slash a ridiculous .292, .406, .517, with 22 homers and just 414 at-bats, helping him to an impressive 3.0 WAR. For weary Nats fans, Soto breathed fresh life into the stagnant team as he put together one of the most dominant seasons by a teenager in Major League Baseball history. As one district beat writer wrote of Soto at the time, it seems like every single game that Juan Soto plays, he's consistently one of the most dangerous bats in the lineup. His ability to draw walks and go the opposite way leave fans speechless. For much of 2018, Soto was neck and neck with Ronald Acuna Jr. for National League Rookie of the Year, prompting LA Dodgers president Steve Caston to declare of Soto, when a player's up at 19 and is doing things like that, you know how much the team believes in him. And the Nationals certainly did believe in Soto, so much so that he only played a shocking, eye-popping, unbelievably low 122 games in their minor league system. To put it in perspective, that's fewer than Tim Tebow's 306 minor league contests or even Michael Jordan's 127. And it's certainly far fewer than that of rookie phenom Mike Trout, who played 602 in the Angels farm system, or fellow teenage sensation Bryce Harper, who played 331 for Soto's former squad. But this isn't even the most ridiculous aspect of Soto's ascendancy, because of those 122 minor league games, only 8 came above the AA level, with 0, count 'em, 0 games played in AAA. And because he's never had any major injuries, he hasn't even had to play at that level for rehab games. He has not logged even a single inning of baseball at a level that most prospects will spend entire seasons at, even those held in extremely high regard. So, how did Juan Soto pull off one of the most impressive feats in minor league baseball history, almost skipping the entire process? In order to figure that out, we'll have to get a sense of just how highly he was regarded at every level he played, starting with his rise in the Dominican Republic. While it might seem surprising, at first, Juan wasn't known as an outfielder with an upper-tier plate approach, but instead, a lefty pitcher with plus velo. But as he matured, he began to transition into an outfielder. Even as his prospect status grew in stature, as a defensive player, scouts saw much to improve upon, noting Soto's good instincts, but also his below-average speed and just average arm strength. He was seen by this point as having some hitting potential, though more as a projectable, solid bat. Certainly not one with Hall of Fame upside. Given his so-so marks on defense and his yet-to-be-realized potential at the plate, Soto was just the 22nd ranked international prospect out of 30 by the time he signed in 2015. Despite this, the Nats saw something others hadn't in the 16-year-old, and made a bold move by signing Soto to a $1.5 million contract. This was the largest bonus the Nationals had ever paid to an amateur player signed out of the Dominican Republic, surpassing the $1.4 million they had paid to Esmaelan Gonzalez in 2006, who was seen as a far superior talent at the time. Following the signing, Soto was placed in the Nationals Dominican Academy for 2015, and then the Florida's Gulf Coast League for 2016, and it would be in the GCL that Soto first flashed his true brilliance at the dish. As a now 17-year-old full-time outfielder in the minor leagues, Soto absolutely tore the cover off the ball, leading the entire GCL with a .361 average while finishing second in the league with a .410 OBP. He also led the league with a .550 slugging percentage and .960 OPS. After his dominant time there, the Nationals saw fit to assign Soto to their short-season New York Penn League team, where he went 9 for 21 with 3 doubles in just 6 games. Beyond even his impressive numbers, evaluators were stunned at his maturity versus, in many cases, older players. While many of his peers in similar age groups struggled with discipline, the young Soto rarely chased. And while he only had 5 home runs in 51 games, he had apparently reached over 110 miles per hour in exit velocity on multiple occasions. The power was there, even if unrealized. The defensive concerns certainly weren't quelled, as he showed, at times, poor jumps on fly balls he would have to come in on, and made a couple errors in under 100 total chances, but again, the year was still a resounding success for the young prospect on the rise. As such, nobody was really surprised to see his rankings explode over the course of that single season. He quickly became the Nats' third-rated prospect in Baseball America and the 12th ranked on MLB's prospect list. It was at this time that one scout surmised that Juan Soto probably wouldn't end up seeing the majors until at least 2020, but this prediction seemed to be growing more incorrect with every swing of the young slugger's bat. When he got to Hagerstown to play for the Suns in 2017, having risen a full 2 leagues in just a year, many expected a period of adjustment to be in play for the young lefty, but he must have missed that memo, as he somehow not only managed to maintain his insane slash from the year before at 360, 415, 505, but added to it more over-the-fence pop, with 3 home runs in his first 23 games and more walks than Ks to the tune of a 12-to-9 ratio. Unsurprisingly, MLB Pipeline ranked Soto as the Nationals' second best prospect, and the 42nd best among all prospects in July of that year. Unfortunately, a fairly severe ankle injury sustained while sliding into home put Soto on the injured list. In his return to the Gulf Coast Nationals while on a rehab assignment, one of 5 games in July and a second one of 4 games in September, he went 8 for 25 with a double, a triple, and 4 RBIs, helping ease concerns regarding his physical state. But the injury bug wasn't done with him yet, and while rehabbing, Soto injured his hamstring and was finally shut down for the year without having been able to return to the Suns. He would finish the 2017 season with a cumulative batting average of .351 and an OPS of .919, his second straight OPS of at least .900 to begin his minor league career, again against players who are on average 2 to 3 years older than him. By the time the 2018 season rolled around, Soto's stock had risen even further, with him now unanimously being ranked as the number 2 prospect even via MLB.com's rankings behind Victor Robles, and the number 29 prospect overall. He was poised to have another excellent season, but what he would go on to do before he would be called up in May can't be described as anything short of minor league legend. In one of his first games of the season, Soto went 4 for 5 with a then career-high 4 RBIs, while belting a home run and falling just a double shy of the cycle. Suns manager Patrick Anderson wasn't shy in singing Soto's praises. You can tell his mindset is to get to the big leagues and stay there for a long time. You can see it every day in everything he does. He's 19 years old, yet looks like a grown man. In a 39-game sample that still looks ridiculous even in the context of what he's accomplished so far in his MLB career, he slashed an otherworldly 362, 462, 757 with 14 homers in just 39 games. Basically, he was like a roided out Barry Bonds while being 3.5 years younger than the average player at his level in the minors. No one should expect Soto to continue mashing baseballs like this, one Washington Post writer wrote. Then again, I guess no one should be surprised if he does. He might have had even more ridiculous stats by the end of the year, as he was having his best month so far in May, crushing 9 homers in just 19 games, while having made the jump to AA for the first time. But it was then that, on May 19th, 2018, following another multi-hit game, he was surprisingly called up to the big club, having never taken even a single at-bat in AAA. Once Soto made his big league debut for the Washington Nationals the next day as a pinch hitter in the bottom of the 8th inning and was promptly struck out. But just one night later, in his first official start, he clobbered a 3-run home run to left to help give the Nats the win over the Padres. And such was history. He would finish second in Rookie of the Year voting that season, go on to register at least a 401 OBP every year he's been in the bigs, while crushing 200 homers in 7 years along the way, including over 40 this year, while racking up over 36 WAR and an insane 160 OPS plus. Everything scouts had once thought he was capable of has not only come to pass, but has arguably been eclipsed, and he remains one of the few examples in the whole of MLB history of a player who was rushed to the big leagues and yet never, for any real length of time, struggled, and helps explain why he's on track to receive the largest free agent contract in history for players not named Shohei Ohtani. And what's funny is, we don't really know how much more maturation could be left for the childish Bambino, but seemingly the sky is the limit for a guy who essentially skipped the minor leagues as a whole. Now, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and check out this playlist for other essay content just like this. Have a great rest of your day, everyone.